insert the element. So there are 4 possible cases of insert node, as I told you earlier. Insert into an empty list. This is pretty easy. Insert in front, okay, at 0th index. Insert at back at the last node, after the last node, or insert in middle. Insert in middle. But in fact, only needed to handle 2 cases. Insert as the first node, case 1 and case 2. Okay. Case 1 and case 2 both addresses the I mean insert as the first node, and case 3 and case 4 insert in the middle or at the end of the list. Case 3 and case 4. Now you can see, if you want you can note down. So this is actually C code. Forget about the new syntax that that you might encounter here, but look at the code only. Okay, the code portion only. So see here, I'm going to explain the code. If index is less than 0, return null. If index is less than 0, we can't do anything, return null. Otherwise, if current index is 1, current node is the head node. Okay. So what we are doing here is we are taking a pointer called current node. This current node points to head node initially head node. So that means the head node address is with us, while current node and index is greater than current index, right? So we'll keep moving on until we find the indexed location. Okay. So for that we have written a loop here, while loop. If the current node and the current index, okay, the current node and the index is greater than the current index, then what we have to do? Current node goes to current node next. Move on to the next node. Again, compare the current node and the index against the current index. Okay, just incrementing the current index plus plus. So we need to move on until we find the required element. Try to locate the indexed node. If it does not exist, return null. If index is greater than and then current node is null, return null. Okay. If the current node, if you are happens to be, I mean, after a few iterations, if you're going to struct the last node, that is the null pointer, then you have to return null. Why? Because the current index is not available. The index that you want to insert, the position is not available. If that is the case, you have to return null. Okay. Else means this case. That means you got the required indexed element. Okay. So you got the required position and you want to insert your new element. So the moment you get the this data, what you have to do, you have to create a new node there. Okay. How to create new node? See here, new node goes to, instead of new operator, this is a C++ style. Here you can use your malloc function, malloc node or cloc node or vloc node. Okay. After creating new node, the new node address is stored in this new node variable. It's a pointer. Okay, new node pointer. Next, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to store X into new node data. New node. See here, I'm using this right arrow data. Okay. So you need to know the difference between this, the pointer, normal pointer variable in the structures, normal variable, normal member variable and pointer to member variable. Okay. Here new node is a pointer to member variable. Okay. Whenever you use pointer to a member variable, we have to use right arrow member access operator. Pointer to member access operator. It is a normal variable, we have to use dot period operator. Okay. Since we are using new node is a pointer. Okay. Pointer to we are accessing data field. Okay. Pointer to member access operator is this right arrow. Right. New node right arrow data goes to X. Okay. So this is how we are initializing. That means the data field of the new node is going to have this data element X. Okay. Now we need to adjust the pointers in such a way that the new node is going to insert. Okay. Insert as first element, as you can see here. If index equals to 0, if index equals to 0, new node next is head. What is new node? This one, newly created node through this new call. Okay. New node next is head, and head equals to new node, and head equals to new node. New node next equals to head, and head equals to new node, right? That means the newly inserted node will become the head node, right? Okay. Else new node next equals to current node next. What is the current node? Current node is the index the position at where you want to insert that node next, this node next. This is the current node. Current node next equals to new node next. Okay. Current node next equals to new. See here, current node next equals to new node. That means we have cut short this point between current node and its successor, previous successor. Now the latest successor will be the new node. Okay. Once you are done, return the address of new node, address of the new node, right? So next we'll see the find operation. Int find node, search for a node with the value equal to x in the list. If such a node is found, return its position, otherwise return 0. Okay. As you can see here, the return type is int. If a node is found, it will return the address, sorry, its position. Otherwise, it will return 0. Okay. In the failed case, it will return 0. On the successful case, it will return its position. So suppose if the node is found at say location 5, then it will return 5. Okay. So find node will take one parameter. The element that you want to search for, you have to give. Okay. So suppose I want to search for A3, then I have to give find node of A3. Okay. So if such a node is found, return its position, otherwise return 0. See how it happens. Find node, current node equals to head, into current index equals to 1. Okay. Initially we'll take these two count variables. Current index will initialize it to 1. Current node is initially head, so we have to start from the head node, while current node and the current node data is not equals to x. Okay. Current node equals to current node next. Keep on moving to the next node just by following the next pointers. As you can see here, current node equals to current node next, its next structure. And while keep moving on, we are simply incrementing the current index. Okay. So finally, the current index will give you the position of the found element. Okay. So if it is there, if the element is exists, then the current index will give you the position. It will return the position. See here, if current node is available, then return current index. The index will give you will return the position of that particular node. Return 0. Delete node. So delete a node with the value equal to x from the list. If such a node is found, return its position. Otherwise, return 0. Okay. After deleting, we are returning its position. Otherwise, we'll return 0. And these are the steps. First, we need to find the desirable node, similar to find node. This operation is also similar to find node. Release the memory occupied by the found node. Okay. Here you need to know the dynamic memory allocation, deallocation operator like delete or free. Like in C, we have a function called free, right? Set the pointer of the predecessor of the found node to the successor of the found node. Okay. You have to adjust your pointers in such a way that the predecessor of the found node to the successor of the found node, so that the found node is going to be delinked from the list. Okay. So once it is delinked, you can free it. Free found node. That's it. Like insert node, there are two special cases: delete first node, delete the node in middle or at the end of the list. See here, try to find the node with its value equal to x. Once you found, what you have to do? You have to manipulate these pointers in such a way that this is the current node. Let us assume the current node is the node that you want to delete. Okay, it has its previous node. We are keep tracking this previous node address. Now what you have to do? Previous node next is current node. That is the node that you want to delete. Now observe here carefully. Current node next is this node. Okay. Now what we are doing here is previous node next equals to previous node next equals to current node next, current node next, previous node next. Previous node next is earlierly it points to current node. Now we are making making it to point the current node next, current node next. That means virtually I mean logically this current node is no longer part of this list. Okay. So once we delink the current node, what I have to do? We have to release that memory occupied by the current node. How to do that? So this is how we'll do that. Delete by calling delete operation or delete operator in C++, or else you can use free operator or sorry free built-in function in that is provided in C programming language, right? Free current node and return its index. So after deleting the current node, we are simply returning its position. Say suppose I have deleted the fourth element or fifth element or something like that. To have that information, we are returning the position of the deleted element, right? Like printing all the elements, this is so pretty much simple operation. Like print the data of all the elements, print the number of the nodes in the list. So sometimes you want to know the size of the list. In either case, you can use the print and display list function. So it doesn't take any parameters here and it doesn't return anything, right? Int number equals to 0 initially. We are taking one variable called number to keep track the number of elements. I mean, it's a counter variable, we can say. This counter variable initially it holds 0. It is initialized to 0. Once we move on, this num is going to hold the current size of the linked list. Okay, the number of elements in the list, right? Let's see how it happens. While current node is not null, okay, while there is a current node, initially current node is points to head. That means we are starting with the head node. While there is a node, okay, what we are doing here, we are simply printing current node data. Here I have used the cout function. In C, we'll be using printf. Printf current node data like %d. If it is an integer data, current node data will print the current node data item. Okay. Once printing the current node data, what we are doing here, we are updating the current node. Current node equals to current node next. Now, in the next iteration, your while loop, in the next iteration, it is going to print the data of the next node, current node next. Then in the next iteration, it is going to print the next node data, next node data, next node data. Okay. Remember here, in each iteration, we are going to increment the this num counter variable so that we'll get the actual number of elements, the size of the list here. Okay. So finally, once we come out of this loop, we'll simply printing the number of nodes in the list num endl. Endl is the new line operator in C++. Okay. Destroying the list, like there in C++ we have something called destructor and constructor. Like if you're going for this one, like in C, you have to manually erase the elements, okay, by using free. Okay, that is the reason I'm not going to talk about this one. And this is the driver routine. So initially I have created a list. Okay, list dot insert node. This is my first function. What I'm going to do, 0, 7.0. At the 0th index, I'm going to insert 7.0. At 1th index, I'm going to insert 5.0. I'm calling the same function insert node with -1. Okay, it's a negative index. Okay, negative index, it is going to be unsuccessful. Why? Because I mean, if you recall the insert node function, we are not handling the negative indexes. So whenever you encounter an index less than 0, we are simply returning null. Okay, that's the reason why this particular call is unsuccessful. Next, insert node at 0. Initially, we have inserted 7.0. Again, we are inserting at 0. Then what happens is the 6.0 becomes the first node. After the 6.0, we'll be having 7.0. After the 7.0, we will be having 5.0. Okay, we are pushing the list one what you call that, one node ahead, right? Insert node 8, eighth location. At the 8th location, we are inserting 4.0. This is unsuccessful. Why? Because so far we have inserted only 3 elements, right? 6.0, 7.0, and 5.0. We have only 3. I mean, the size of the list is only 3, but we are attempting to insert a new node at 8th location, which is obviously it is not possible. With a list of size 3, we cannot insert our new element at 8th location, right? I hope you got my point, right? Print all the elements. So for that, you have to call list display list. Okay. If list of find node 5.0 is greater than 0, cout 5.0 found, else 5.0 not found. Okay, here we are using this find node element to find out the elements, then delete node function and display list. Finally, we are calling display list. Okay, this is a simple driver routine. Instead of this, you can write a menu as as you generally do with the C programs. Like generally we use the switch case statement or while do statement to uh, like to code a menu, right? I want to perform these many operations, say like a 4 or 5 operations. Okay, whenever you encounter this operation, to go to the case corresponding to that operation and perform that, right? If all the operations are not done, then go to the default action. Otherwise, you simply come out of the switch case and print something, a diagnostic message, something like that. Enter the correct option, something like that. So such kind of menus you can create. So this is the output. 6, 7, 5. Number of nodes in the list is 3. 5.0 found, 4.5 not found. Since 4.5 is not inserted, no. So the 6, 5, the number of nodes in the list is after deleting 7, we are left with 6 and 5. That is the reason why the list display list will print only 2. 6 and 5, the number of nodes in the list is only 2. Reason being, the 7 is already deleted. Next, we'll see a variation of linked list. Okay, just like we have circular queues, so here we have something called circular linked list. Okay, in the circular linked list, what happens is the last node next, usually in singly linked list. Okay, so far we have seen the basic linked list. Okay, this is often called as singly linked list. Okay, why? Because we are having only one link between 2 nodes. That is the reason why we are calling it as singly linked list. In singly linked list, what happens is the last node next is always points to null. Okay, it contains nothing. It contains no next address. Null pointer. Null point. Now we are instead of storing the null pointer, what we are doing here is we are trying to hold the address of the first node in the last pointer. Okay. If you do so, then what happens is we are going to have the first node. The list can be traversed in a circular fashion. After encountering the last node, you can you can, by using the last node next pointer, you can come back to the first node. Then you can move. You can follow those rings and you can move in a circular fashion. Hence why it is called circular linked list. So in this particular case, how do we check or how do we know when we have finished traversing the list? The hint is that check if the pointer of the current node is equal to the head. That is an indication that you have done one cycle. Okay. So in that way you can check. Next, another variation of linked list, that is doubly linked list. Before going to see what is doubly linked list, let us try to find out the problems with the single linked list. Okay. So as you can see here, in single linked list, we can move only in the forward direction from first node to next node to its next successor, like that. Okay, it's a unidirectional flow of or what we can say, like it's a unidirectional traversing. We can move from head node to tail node, but reverse is not possible. We cannot traverse from tail node back to its head node. Okay, that is not possible. Backwards traversing is not possible, right? So if you want to print the list in reverse order from tail to head is going to be a tough job. If you're working with a single linked list and if you're asked to do, I mean, return the elements, I mean, display the elements in a reverse order, then it's going to be, I mean, you have to, I mean, it can be possible to write the code, but it takes more time. And, you need to put some extra effort here, right? By traversing from back to front. Okay. So to avoid that, either way you can traverse here by using doubly linked list. As the name implies, doubly linked list, here we'll be having a slightly modified node structure than the single linked list. In single linked list, we'll be having only a node with the 2 fields. Here we'll be having 3 fields in doubly linked list. Each node not only points to its successor, but also to its predecessor. Okay, as you can see here, we have 3 fields. The first field and the last field are the pointer fields, and the middle field is used to store the data. Okay, you're simply changing the node structure in doubly linked list. So the first field is used to point to its predecessor. Okay, and the next field is used to point its successor. Okay, what I mean to say here is each node is having to is having 2 fields. Okay, one field is used to hold the address of its predecessor in the list, and the other field is used to hold the address of its successor. Okay, the advantage with this setup is, given a node, it is easy to visit its predecessors, convenient to traverse is backwards. That is the only advantage that we have with the doubly linked list. In either way you can traverse, but the problem with this is you need some extra pointers, right? Here first node previous pointer is null, and the last node next pointer is null. So that those things you need to take care while creating doubly linked list, right? Now let us quickly summarize this array versus linked list. Linked lists are more complex to code and manage than arrays, but they have some distinct advantages, right? As I told you earlier, this is the takeaway of this class. So if somebody asks you what is the difference between arrays and linked list, you need to coin these points, right? Linked lists are more complex. Yes, they are more complex. You need to work with the pointers. You need to have a good hold on pointers concept. Then only you can write the code. But they have some distinct advantages. Let us see that. A linked list can easily grow and shrink in size. It's dynamic. Okay. A linked list can easily grow and shrink in size. As and when it is required, you can increase the size of the linked list, or if you don't want, you can concise it. You can cut short the size. You can remove those elements that are not required, are no longer required in the list. Okay. We don't need to know how many nodes will be in the list. As is the case with the arrays, first we need to know how many data elements that you're going to store in your array. Based on that, you're declaring your array with a predefined size. That assumption is not required here. We don't need to know how many nodes will be in the list. They are created in memory as needed. Okay. In contrast, the size of C++ array is fixed at compilation time. So this is coming to C++. I'm not going to discuss that. And these operations, insertions and deletions are very fast in linked list when compared to array. So to insert or delete an element in an array, we need to copy to temporary variables to make room for new elements or close the gap caused by the deleted elements. With linked list, no need to move other nodes, only need to reset some pointers. Some pointer manipulation is required. So if you're able to do that, that's enough. Okay, you can easily insert new nodes or delete the elements. Right. So here, that's it for today. I will stop here. If you have any questions, you can ask now.